What's up, everybody? It's your boy Sterling, and welcome back to ENT Fantasy Football. It feels so great to be back, and today I got my starts of the week for Week 8 of the fantasy football season. So these are my players that I'm guaranteeing are going to be great for fantasy football in Week 8. You already know my spiel. Make sure you guys go down below, like this video, comment on this video, subscribe to the channel, go check out our other start of the week videos, go check out all our other videos. We got a bunch of bangers for you guys for fantasy football. Without further ado, let's get into start of the week. So my start of the week for the quarterback position this week is going to be Joe Burrow. Now, Joe Burrow is averaging 29.3 fantasy points per game. Last week, he had a crazy game where he had a combined 500 yards and 4 touchdowns if you combine all his rushing yards and passing yards. He has back-to-back games with 4 touchdowns in both games. And he only has one game this season where he has thrown for below 200 passing yards. This week he's playing against the Browns, who, by the way, give up the 4th most points in the NFL at 26.6 points per game. And so Joe Burrow, with all those numbers that I just gave to you, this is lining up for Joe Burrow to be another great fantasy football game and another great real-life game. I'm sure he's going to throw for a ton of yards, probably throw for a couple touchdowns, and it's looked like the last 2 weeks, they have really opened up their offense more. I remember, I think it was 3 or 4 weeks ago, they played the Ravens on primetime, and everybody was just saying how the Bengals need to open up their offense more and really just let Joe Burrow go. Let him do what he does. Let him sling the ball around. And that's kind of what they've been doing these last 2 weeks, and it's looked very good for Joe Burrow and very good for Joe Burrow fantasy owners. So Joe Burrow is my quarterback start of the week. So for my running back start of the week, I have a player that honestly I've been waiting for him to get an opportunity like this for a while, and it's Tony Pollard. Now this week, Ezekiel Elliott has been dealing with an MCL injury, and it's very likely he's going to miss this week's game. They're playing against the Chicago Bears. Now, the Chicago Bears give up 163 rush yards per game, which, by the way, is second worst in the entire NFL. Tony Pollard has had at least 80 yards in 2 of the last 3 games. This is the thing about Tony Pollard is because, Tony Pollard, he normally doesn't get the volume that you would need for a relevant fantasy running back, but he has been very, very, very efficient in his opportunities this year. He's averaging 5.6 yards per carry, which is almost at the top of the entire NFL, and the Cowboys are averaging 120 rush yards a game this year. If Zeke Elliott does miss this game, which as of right now, he is very likely to miss this game, and I'm pretty sure he will miss this game, Tony Pollard is in line for a big workload for an efficient running back, for a team that wants to run the football, a team that averages 120 rush yards a game against the team who gives up the second most rush yards per game in the NFL. Everything is lining up for this to be a great week for Tony Pollard. So Tony Pollard, make sure you put him in your starting lineups this week. My wide receiver start of the week is A.J. Brown. Now, A.J. Brown has the privilege to play the Pittsburgh Steelers this week. Now, by the way, the Steelers give up the second most fantasy points per game to wide receivers. A.J. Brown has at least 8 targets in every single one of his games so far this year. At least 8 targets. He's obviously on the best team in football right now, one of the best offenses in football. A.J. Brown only has one single-digit game in PPR scoring formats all year this season. He's been super consistent, averaging 14.1 points a game in half-point scoring. And this is going to be his easiest matchup all year. This is the easiest matchup he's had so far, and he's playing against the Steelers. And so with how talented and explosive A.J. Brown is, I'm very, very, very excited for this week. We've seen how much Jalen Hurts likes to rely on A.J. Brown and how they manufacture touches and they make sure that A.J. Brown gets the ball, whether it's short yard plays, whether it's deep throws, no matter what it is, they're going to make sure that their best player, A.J. Brown, gets the ball. It's looking great for A.J. Brown this week. And my tight end start of the week is Dallas Goedert, actually on the same team as A.J. Brown. Well, the tight end position is super hard. It's super, super hard. And the tight end position is just a little bit more thin this week, obviously. And so I'm going to go with Dallas Goedert. Dallas Goedert is the tight end 8 on the season so far. He's averaging 5.8 targets a game on a great offense. The thing I always say is if your tight end is averaging around 5 or 6 targets a game, then he's most likely going to be relevant for fantasy. Like I said, Dallas Goedert averaging 5.8 targets a game, so he's right in that range that I like to see for the tight end position for you to be relevant. Because if you didn't take one of the top tight ends, then you're kind of in this range of tight end. The Dallas Goederts of the world, the Zach Ertz of the world, the Gerald Everett's of the world, Tyler Higbee. Like, you're in this range of tight end. And this week, for this range of tight end, my favorite is Dallas Goedert. And by the way, the Steelers give up 275 pass yards a game, which is 29th in the NFL. So for Dallas Goedert, that's amazing. For a relevant tight end, Dallas Goedert is my start of the week this week. And so, yeah, that's going to be it for today's video, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you guys go down below, like this video, comment on this video, comment your starts of the week. Give me some players that you think you're guaranteeing are going to be great for fantasy football this week. And thank you guys so much. Subscribe to the channel. I'm out of here.